What's up, guys? In the works, and we are playing some Rush, and I know you're like, oh, it looks like you're attacking. How cliche, but no, I will be team switched here within 30 seconds, so never fear. I am going to get it handed to me on defense, and that's what we're going to talk about today is Rush, because we all know they patched the AC-130, and everybody was so excited. They're like, oh, Rush is going to be back, Rush is going to be back. Basically, the two things they did to the AC-130 is they made it so it only respawns every 2 minutes. 2 minutes 2 minutes plural there, every 2 minutes. And they also made it so that it takes a while before it advances to the next objective, so it basically gives the defenders time to kind of set up and get a perimeter going. As you see, they just destroyed the only piece of armor that the defenders get, the main battle tank. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about, because a lot of you guys have been tweeting at me today actually asking me, Jake, do you think that Rush is better now? Because a lot of people were saying, DICE has fixed the AC-130. That means that Rush is going to be fine. Because if you don't understand what I mean with that, the problem with the AC-130 is it created this weird complex where the attackers really didn't have to have any sort of flanking maneuvers. They didn't have to have any sort of map knowledge. They could jump in the AC-130. One guy, that's all it takes is one guy to jump out of the AC-130, parachute down, land behind people, and others start spawning on him. And before you know it, you've got squads and squads of people behind you. And that kind of ruined the front line dynamic of Rush. I mean, Rush has always been a defend the front line. If they flank behind you, you're screwed. Now it really doesn't take any skill or effort to flank behind you. You can just parachute behind the person. And that's what I think a lot of people were frustrated with. So DICE was like, okay, we'll patch the gunship. We'll make it so that the trajectory of the gunship isn't so fast to advance on, so that you could get behind people before the defenders even get a chance to push back. And so they fixed that. Okay. And I was skeptical. That's why I initially did this game as a live comm. That's why it has no audio. And while I was playing it, I was really like, I was lost for words at just how ridiculous things were playing out. And I was like, man, I've got to do a post commentary over this, because I need to organize my thoughts a little bit better. Because I wanted to show you guys from a raw perspective. This is me. I'm not doing well. I mean, it's quite obvious that we're getting our stuff handed to us. But one of the things that I noticed, and it took me a while to think about. I mean, look at right here at this point in the video. I'm saying to you guys, well, you'll never hear it since I deleted it, but if you look at what the armor they get an Amtrak, they get 2 tank destroyers, I think, they get an ATV, and they get the AC-130 every 2 minutes. Now, it doesn't sound like a ton, but it really, really is for one objective. I mean, you've got to think about it. Honestly, the gunship, the AC-130, is an Amtrak in the sky. It is an unlimited Amtrak in the sky that can shoot a cannon, it can have air defense, it can have all sorts of things, but has an unlimited amount of spawns. I mean, you can just jump out of the thing, unlimited, and that's why I kind of compare it to the Amtrak, because not only did they get this AC-130 where people can parachute out of it behind you, you've got the frontal assault of the Amtrak, which people can pour out of. They can use it as a mobile spawn point. So initially, they get a front and back defense, while all the defenders get is a main battle tank. And you're going to see me hop in it here. Unfortunately for me, I have to get out. Because my team will not defuse the objective, because they're getting destroyed by a tank destroyer. So what I do is I push the tank in front of it, defuse the objective, and we lose our only sort of armor. And that's a bummer. That is a huge, huge bummer, considering that this is really the only thing that kind of protects us from all the other stuff. So, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about this. I was like, how can they actually fix Rush? And I don't know that they can. I don't think DICE actually thought it out. It's like, hey, maybe we should give the defenders some stuff to counter the fact that the attackers get an unlimited amount of armor. And I think the only way we can fix Rush is either to remove or add some armor on defense, because as it stands right now, the AC-130, if it's going to stay in Rush, that's just the way it is. I mean, we just have to accept that. We can't really sit back here and complain about it, because, I mean, complaining isn't going to do us much good, considering that DICE has been pretty insistent that they're not going to remove the AC-130 from Rush. So we just have to live with that. But I think the thing that really kind of breaks it for everybody isn't necessarily AC-130. I think it's the amount of armor they do get. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Have you played Rush since they kind of, quote, patched it? And do you like it better? Because I'm not so sure that I really do enjoy this anymore. Like, Rush just seems like it doesn't work on armor kill. I mean, that's just the that's just my kind of analysis of the whole thing. You know, they tried really hard to mix things up. They tried really hard to make it, ooh, and there's a tank destroyer behind us, sniping us. They tried really hard to fix the AC-130, but I don't think that was the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem in this entire sort of map pack expansion is the fact that the vehicles are not balanced on rush. So let me know your guys' thoughts. I got my stuff handed to me. Not only did I get killed by, you know, I'm curious to see how many times I actually died to a gun in this versus a vehicle that was like just sitting there, just sniping us from far away. So I'd be interested to go back and see if I actually got killed by a weapon at some point during this. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think rush is fixed? I don't. I think that they still have some work to do. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.